Hi, this week you're going to give your case study student a fluency assessment, and we'll be using a standard running record for that. You can actually use just a blank piece of paper to do a running record, but I'm going to upload some resources for you that you can use, just blank templates, and I think I have about 3 of those different ones. So you can just choose which one looks right for you and pick that one and go ahead and do a running record. So Graves describes a little bit of a running record on page 239. It gives you some procedures for measuring rate and accuracy. And so basically it's the same thing as the DRA, but you can do it on any book that the child's reading. And it's very convenient because you can just take a piece of paper and mark how the student's reading on the piece of paper, and it gives you a real insight into how they're reading that specific book and an overall picture of their reading. So for kids that, if you're thinking about RTI terms, kids that are in Tier 1 or General Ed classroom, no intervention, they should be getting a running record at least once a month, especially for elementary. And then if you are in Tier 2 getting some additional interventions, you should be doing a running record on them about every 2 weeks, just to be able to adjust instruction and see how they're doing with the books that they're reading. And then if they're the more intense kids, like the 5% of your class that needs a lot of reading support, you should be giving them a running record weekly so that you can see how what kind of progress they're making, because usually their progress is more incremental. And it's good to adjust instruction for that on a weekly or bi-monthly basis. So a couple of things. For the running record, it's similar to the DRA markings. The only downside is that you don't have the words in front of you. If you're feeling really nervous about this, you can go ahead and copy the page of the book that the kid's reading. But again, teachers don't ever do that, so I think it would be better if you didn't do that. But you can if you want. So basically, for the running record, you just put a check for every word the kid says correctly, just like you do over the words in the DRA. And then you can use the same scoring sheet for this that was in the DRA. So write down if they omitted a word, write down if they added, inserted a word. As much information as possible you have is good. So for the running record, the word that they said incorrectly goes on top, and the word that was in the text goes underneath. So you put the word on top, and you put the word that was in the text with a line, and then put it underneath the line. For self-corrections, you would mark SC, and self-corrections do not count as an error. So you only mark the errors of the words that they did not fix, the words that they said wrong that they did not fix. Also, you want to note things like their expression. A lot of times I just put a little E on the side to note where they put expression. You can also put a line for where they're breaking their phrases up. And I especially do this with kids that have awkward phrasing. For example, if they're reading something and they pause at the end of the line rather than at the punctuation marks, then mark that. It's really important to know that. I don't do it all the time. I do it based on the students and their needs. So you want to do a running record on a book that they're reading instructionally. You can actually do it on any book. You can do it on their independent reading book to gauge if it's the right level for them. But for this purpose, I think it's good to see what books you're using with them in the class, maybe in their guided reading group or a text you're having them read whole class in upper grades. Go ahead and take that text and have them read it and do a running record on that text. So it's really good after doing a running record, if possible, not just to look for accuracy, but also to ask some comprehension questions to see if the kid understood what they read and that they didn't just decode it. For that, I have some questions that go on the end of some of these running records that you can use, but for this assignment, it's strictly just for fluency. So you can just do the running record, and then please use the fluency rubric to decide the student's prosody, their rate, their tone, etc. Those different parts of their reading are really important, and actually the decoding says a lot, like how they're reading the actual words, and what mistakes they're making can help you with word instruction and strategy instruction. But a student also, you really need to know how they're phrasing the text, if their expression is appropriate at times, if there's dialogue, are they using expression? This will really help you to understand if a kid's understanding the story. If they're using appropriate rate, the speed of the text, if they have the appropriate tone, prosody, etc., then you know that they're probably comprehending the text very well. So it's really hard to fake that. So if they are having all the good parts of fluency, including the decoding, they're probably understanding the story. So, all right, let us know if you have any questions, and again, I will upload some documents for you to check out, and if you have questions about how to score it, please use the DRA guide for running records. Thank you. Bye.